Hi, hello, and welcome to the brand new episode of Overseas Edu Podcast. Powered by VmapU, we are go-to destination for all overseas education in India. This particular episode is going to be very special because we have a distinctive guest with us. She is Gayathri Natarajan. She is a trainer for Duolingo in India and also into teaching and training services from past 2 decades. So let's jump into the episode. Hi Gayathri, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Very good to have you here. So we know that you've been into this training and teaching services from past 2 decades. So tell me about yourself to our viewers. What exactly is your journey into this?
Sure. I'm an educator, so I have a background in teaching, teacher training, and also examining. I'm currently a trainer with the Duolingo English Test. I'm very excited to tell you all about the test today.
So what is Duolingo exactly actually? What are the services is being provided in India by Duolingo?
Duolingo is a language learning app.
Okay.
And so if you download this app, you can learn. There are currently over 40 languages available that you can learn for free.
Okay.
And that's what this app does.
So other than that, I think Duolingo English Test has been come into place. So tell me about inception of Duolingo English Test.
Sure. So Duolingo was started in 2011.
Okay.
And about 5 years later, in 2015-16, they launched the Duolingo English Test. And I'll tell you a quick short story about how this happened.
Sure.
So the Duolingo app basically came into existence because the two co-founders, when they met, realized they had this shared goal of wanting to create a learning platform, which would be both affordable and accessible. So no matter where you are and what your financial constraints, if you want to learn, this is a learning platform that would work for you. And one of the co-founders, the Duolingo English Test was actually inspired by a personal experience that one of the co-founders had.
Okay.
Luis von Ahn he was born and raised in Guatemala City.
Okay.
And he was really lucky because his mom was a doctor. So he got a great education. I think he went to the American School of Guatemala.
Okay.
And although he had a great time learning, he saw how hard it was for others around him, others in his community to learn English. And this is something that stayed with him many years later when he went to the US to study.
Okay.
At that time, just like our students today, he had to take a test to prove his language proficiency as well. Unfortunately, there were no test seats available in his hometown.
Oh.
And this was 1995. He had to spend $1,200 US then to fly to a neighboring country just so he could take a proficiency test.
Okay.
And this really frustrating and very expensive experience left him feeling like there is this big gap that needs to be filled. And so when he met his partner, when they met, the co-founders met, and they decided to launch the Duolingo English Test, it was really just about furthering the same missions as Duolingo, to create a test that is accessible and affordable. So anyone that needs to prove their English language proficiency can do that, regardless of where their physical location is or what their financial abilities are.
No searching for the seats availability, no traveling to other countries as well. Yeah, that sounds interesting. It's an interesting story as well. So what were the first impressions? Like, for example, when you have launched the Duolingo English Test, what were the first impressions? Were they welcoming, or are they like another English test? Why it is required?
Sure. I think when the test initially started in 2016, not many people may have known about it because they were still working on getting institutions on board and spreading information to students about this option available to them. But then the pandemic hit. When COVID happened is really when we saw this huge uptake in institutions who were willing to accept the Duolingo English Test, in students who needed to take the Duolingo English Test because it was the only option available at the time. And everyone thought this is just a COVID phenomenon. This is a COVID test. Of
course, yes.
And no one's going to use this test once things open up again. But just to give you an idea, there were 2,500 institutions that were accepting the test at the start of the pandemic. And today that number is over 5,000.
Okay.
So clearly not a COVID phenomenon.
That's an exponential jump as well.
Yes.
Okay, so how many countries is the Duolingo English Test is being accepted currently? And as this video is brought to you by VmapU, your trusted partner in realizing overseas dreams since 2009. With expert counseling, personalized guidance, visa assistance and more, they have helped around 1.5 lakh students achieve their international dreams. Whether it's pursuing MS in USA, MBA in UK or in any other country, contact VmapU by clicking on the link below. Register yourself by entering name, email ID and phone number, and they will call you back within 24 hours to guide and turn your aspirations into reality. And VmapU also offers free SOP maker, free LOR maker and free university shortlisting tool as well. Make sure to explore these. Thank you.